Machiavelli's darkest secrets about female nature never published. In 1513, a broken man sat alone in a tiny village outside Florence. Niccolo Machiavelli had lost everything: his job, his money, his reputation, his health after weeks of torture on the rack. While the rest of the world moved on, he started writing letters to a friend, letters that would later become the most feared book in European history. The Catholic Church banned it the moment it appeared. Kings and popes called it the work of the devil. For 500 years his name has been used as a synonym for evil, and yet none of them ever denied that what he wrote was true. They only hated that someone finally said it out loud. What he wrote was never really about politics. It was about you and me. It was about the woman sleeping next to you right now, the friends who swear they have your back, the family who say blood is thicker than water, the colleagues who smile while they sharpen the knife. Once you read what he actually saw, something inside you changes forever. You stop trusting the way you used to. You stop being surprised when people disapprove. Moment you stop being useful, and you finally understand why the sweetest love you can turn into cold silence overnight. Because what Machiavelli discarded is the hidden operating system of human nature, especially family nature, and it has never changed in 5 centuries. Most people think he was teaching men how to be monsters. That's the lie they tell to sleep better at night. The truth is far worse. He wasn't teaching anyone how to be evil. He was simply describing that quiet, ruthless self-interest that already lives inside every human heart, yours and hers included. The people who screamed the loudest about his book were the same ones secretly using every trick he described while wrapping themselves in words like honor, loyalty, and love. So today we're going straight to the source. We're going to look at the exact sentences he wrote in that dark little room after the world had thrown him away. And we're going to watch how those sentences explain everything that has ever confused you about women. Why she was crazy about you one day and gone the next. Why her affection vanished, vehement, your money or status or confidence did. Why she tests you constantly. Why chasing her harder only pushes her further away. Why the nice guy finishes last, while the man with boundaries gets respect he never even asks for. Here are the words he wrote that made the powerful tremble. Men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowards, and greedy. As long as you are successful, they are completely yours. They offer you their blood, their property, their lives, their children, as long as the danger is far away. But when it comes close, they turn against you. Stop for a second and really feel that. Let it hit you in the chest. Notice the instant resistance that rises up inside you, the voice that whispers, "That's too dark. That can't be true about her. My girl is different. I'm different." That resistance is exactly what Machiavelli predicted. He wrote another line that explains it perfectly. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few discover what you are. Women, just like men, are absolute masters at showing the world a beautiful performance of devotion, sweetness, and unconditional love, while quietly calculating what's best for them behind the curtain. And the most uncomfortable part, Machiavelli claimed to be above it. He put himself in the same category. He wasn't saying women are terrible and I'm a saint. He was saying every single one, office, men and women, operates from self-interest first. The only difference is that most people spend their whole lives pretending otherwise, and the few who see it clearly gain an unfair advantage in every relationship they ever have. Think about the woman you're with right now, or the one you thought would be with you forever. Run the test he forces us to run. Strip away everything that makes you valuable to her. Your money, your confidence, your looks, your energy, your ability to make her feel safe, or excited, or proud. Imagine you become someone who needs her help every single day, instead of the other way around. How many days, weeks, or months pass before the sweetness disappears? Be brutally honest. That number, that tiny, uncomfortable number, is the real depth of female loyalty. The rest was never about you. It was about what you provided. And once you see that, you can finally stop building your life on fairy tales that collapse the first time they are tested. Machiavelli didn't invent this pattern. He simply watched it happen again and again in real life, under real pressure. Wars, betrayals, collapsing kingdoms. Moments when survival itself was on Thalen, and every single time, when the benefits stopped flowing, the love, the loyalty, the friendship, the devotion, it all evaporated like morning mist. Even when people swore it was real. Even when they believed their own words. Because deep down, human attachment, especially female attachment, is always tied to what the other person gives. Emotional highs, security, status, excitement, validation, protection, fun. Stop giving it, and watch how fast detachment dies. You've seen it yourself. That girl you wear head over heels with for years. Everything was perfect until you lost your job, or got depressed, or simply stopped being the strong, fun version of yourself she fell for. Suddenly she's confused about her feelings. Suddenly she needs space. Suddenly she's too busy. What changed? The exchange became unbalanced. You stopped delivering the value that kept her emotionally invested, and female nature did what female nature always does. It moved toward whatever or the friend who swore she'd always be there for you. Then life got hard. You weren't fun anymore. You needed support instead of giving it. And just like that, the texts stopped. The invitations dried up. She didn't turn evil. She simply followed the same quiet self-interest every human follows. You stopped being a net positive in her life, so her attention went elsewhere. Even family, that sister or mother who only calls when she needs money, advice, a favor. Months of silence. Then suddenly, hey, how are you? The day a crisis hits. When the crisis ends, the phone goes quiet again. We call family love unconditional. But watch closely, and you'll see the same invisible exchange operating underneath. At work. The female colleague who laughed at all your jokes and grabbed lunch every day until you switched teams, or she got promoted. The second the mutual professional benefit disappeared, so did the friendship. Machiavelli saw rulers shocked when their loyal followers welcomed the invading army that promised better conditions. He would look at your love life and shrug. Of course, what did you expect? Her love was never for you. It was for what you provided. The moment you accept this, some engine's riddle happens. Betrayals stop hurting. You stop asking how could she do this to me, and start seeing the truth. She didn't do anything to you. She simply acted according to the same human nature you act on every day. You've walked away from friends, jobs, hobbies, even relationships the moment the costs become higher than the reward. You didn't think you were evil. You were just being human. She's doing the exact same thing. People stay for benefits, not bonds. That's the first brutal law. Machiavelli wrote that people love according to their own convenience and respect only the boundaries you enforce. Her affection lasts as long as you keep making her life better than the alternatives. Themament, someone else offers more, or you offer less, the feeling changes. History means nothing. Promises mean nothing. Shared children sometimes don't even mean enough. It sounds cold until you look at your own behavior and realize you do the exact same thing. You've left girls when a better option appeared. You've drifted from friends when they became more work than fun. You've quit jobs the second a better offer came along. You weren't a monster. You were following the same quiet self-interest she follows. The only difference is society taught men that admitting this makes you a bad person, while women are allowed to call it listening to my heart or doing what's best for me. In every relationship, romantic, friendly, professional, familial, there is an exchange. It might be emotional, sexual, financial, social, practical, but it's always there. When the exchange stays balanced, everything feels like magic. When it tips, people start leaving. And women, thanks to biology and thousands of years of evolution, are often more sensitive to that tipping point than men are. Their loyalty is real, but it's conditional on you continuing to be the best option available. The second law is even more practical. People test boundaries constantly, and women are masters at it. Machiavelli observed, humans only behave well when they're forced to. Left to their own devices, they will take as much as they can get away with, and give back as little as possible. It's not conscious evil most of the time. It's unconscious energy conservation. Why work harder than necessary if there's no downside? Watch her do it. She cancels plans last minute. See if you'll get mad, or just roll over. She speaks to you disrespectfully. See if you'll accept it. She stops putting effort into her appearance or thibidrum, to see if you'll still chase. She flirts with other guys in front of you, to see if you'll set a boundary or stay quiet. Every single time, she's running a quiet experiment. How much can I get away with before he pushes back? If you forgive without consequence, you've just taught her that disrespecting you is free. Why would she ever stop? You've turned yourself into the safest place for her to take out her bad moods, her laziness, her wandering eye. The moment you enforce a real consequence, reduced attention, less time. Walking away if necessary, one of two things happens. Her behavior improves immediately, or she leaves. Either outcome is a win, because you're no longer training her to treat you badly. This is why the man who is always understanding, always forgiving, always available, gets treated worse and worse over time. He has removed all cost from poor treatment. Meanwhile, the man who quietly enforces standards, who can walk away without drama, who means what he says, gets treated with consistent respect, even when she's mad, even when she's tempted elsewhere. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved." Becos. Love depends on her mood and circumstances, while fear of real loss is constant and reliable. He didn't mean scare her with violence. He meant cost of disrespecting you higher than the benefit. The third law destroys more relationships than almost anything else. Total availability kills attraction. Complete transparency kills mystery. When you become an open book, who is always there? Second she reaches out, you stop being a man and start being a utility. Early in the relationship you both had full lives, friends, goals, passions, time apart. There was space, there was chase, there was excitement. Then you'll get serious, and many men make the fatal mistake. They drop everything to merge completely into her world. Friends disappear, hobbies vanish, every text gets an instant reply. Every plan revolves around her schedule. You become 100% predictable, 100% available, 100% known. What happens? The very thing that made you attractive, the sense that you are a complete man with a life she is lucky to be part of, disappears. You are no longer a prize to be won. You are a convenience to be used. And female nature, like all human nature, does not stay excited about convenience. It takes convenience for granted and starts looking for the next challenge. Keep some part of your life separate. Keep some thoughts private. Keep some nights for yourself. Keep your own friends, your own mission, your own standards that exist whether she's in the picture or not. That scarcity of your time and attention is what keeps your value high. The man who needs nothing from her has all the power. The man who needs her for everything has already lost. This brings us to the most misunderstood line in history. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Everyone hears feared and thinks violence or cruelty. That's not what he meant. Read the full quote. Love is broken the moment it stops being convenient, but fear of punishment, meaning fear of real consequences, never. In relationship terms, her affection will come and go with her feelings, her cycle, her options, her mood, but her respect for your boundaries will stay rock solid, as long as crossing them costs her something she doesn't want to lose. The man everyone loves, but no one respects gets cancelled on, lead to, taken for granted. The man everyone respects, even if they don't always like him, gets effort, honesty, appreciation. Which one do you want to be? Understanding all this in your head changes nothing. Machiavelli didn't write philosophy. He wrote battle-tested field notes. So here is how you actually use it, starting today. First, do the relationship audit. Write down every important woman in your life. Next to each name, write what she gets from you and what you get from her. Be brutally honest. You will discover that many relationships you thought were based on love or loyalty are actually one-sided exchanges where you give far more than you receive. Decide right then. Reduce your investment to match hers. Renegotiate for balance or walk away completely. Most men never do this because the truth hurts. Do it anyway. Short-term pain is better than years of slow bleeding. Second, set real boundaries with real. Not, I'll be upset. Upsetting you costs her nothing. Real consequences sound like cancel on me again without a serious reason, and I stop making plans. Speak to me like that again and I'm gone for the night, or throik, or forever. Then follow through the very first time. One enforced boundary teaches more than 1,000 lectures. Third, rebuild your own life. Get back the friends you dropped. Restart the hobbies you abandoned. Build the body Thebasiness, the mission that existed before she walked in. Become the man who is complete, with or without her. That independence is the single most attractive quality you can have. Fourth, stop trying to be liked by everyone. Start being respected. Likeable men bend their standards to keep the peace. Respected men hold their standards and let people decide if they want to meet. Paradoxically, the second group ends up more loved by the people actually worth having. Fifth, become conscious of the exchange in every relationship. Stop pretending love floats above some. Ask instantly, what value am I adding? What value am I receiving? Is this sustainable long-term? Relationships that pass this test are worth gold. Relationships that fail were already draining you. You will hear the objections immediately. This is too cynical. No. Cynicism is believing people are worse than they are. This is realism, seeing people exactly as they are. This kills genuine connection. Actually, it creates it. When you stop demanding fairy tale loyalty and start building on honest exchange, the connections that remain are the real ones. Not all relationships are transactions. Name one that survives you becoming a permanent burden with zero reciprocity. Exactly. The ultimate payoff is freedom. Freedom from shock when she leaves. Freedom from begging for respect. Freedom from building your life on promises that were always conditional. You can still love deeply. You can still feel. But now you feel with your eyes open. You build on rock instead of sand. Machiavelli died poor, exiled, condemned by some hypocrites who used his methods every day while preaching virtue from their palaces. His book was banned. His name became a curse word. And yet 500 years later, his observations about female nature, about human nature, are still perfectly accurate. Because the territory never changed. Only delusions did. Women operate from self-interest. Loyalty is. Attraction requires space. Respect requires enforced boundaries. Love without mutual benefit fades. These are not opinions. They are patterns you can watch play out every day. If you're willing to look, you can reject all of this and keep believing people are better than they show themselves to be under pressure. Many do. They are the ones who get blindsided again and again. Confused and hurt when the people they trusted most act exactly as Machiavelli predicted. Or you can accept reality and use it. You can become the rare man who understands female nature so deeply that women treat them with respect, even when they don't fully understand why. You can build relationships that actually last, because they're rooted in mutual benefit instead of one-sided fantasy. You can walk through the world unshaken when nethers crumble, because you were never fooled in the first place. He gave you the map 5 centuries ago. The world still looks exactly the same. Whether you use the map or keep stumbling bland through the dark is entirely up to you. The men who understood these truths built empires that outlasted their names. The men who believed in noble illusions got betrayed, forgotten, replaced. In your own life the stakes are smaller, but that pattern is identical. Understand female nature clearly, and you will be respected, desired, and never abandoned without warning. Deny it, and you will keep wondering why the same painful things keep happening no matter how much you love, how hard you try, how good you are. Welcome to reality. It's colder than the fairy tale, but it's the only place where real power, real respect, and real lasting relationships have ever existed.